Here we go!
Thank you for this opportunity to speak here, to be asked to address a room sort of chock-a-block full of such incredible people is an absolute honour for me. There is, after all, nothing a comedian aspires to more than a breakfast gig.
For all the people saying she's not a comedian, she's clearly a comedian. She understands jokes, structure, timing, all that good stuff. May not be funny, but that's a proper joke.
I've decided to use this opportunity to speak about men. Specifically, I want to speak about the good men. You're going to regret that clap. I want to speak about the very big problem I have with the good men. Especially the good men who take it upon themselves to talk about the bad men. But the last thing I need right now in this moment in history is have to listen to men monologue about misogyny and how other men should just stop being creepy. As if that's the problem. Men are not creepy. I mean, I've said it. Men are not creepy. Do you know what's creepy? Spiders. Because we don't know how they move. Rejecting the humanity of a woman is not creepiness. It is misogyny.
What are we watching?
Creepiness is a term that women coined to define what men's behavior is. It's not something we invented. You guys defined certain things as creepy. You defined someone approaching you in the club when you weren't interested as creepy. This is your word, not ours. So to come after men for using the word creepy when it comes to certain behavior, these are things that you ladies have deemed as creepy. Not good men or Jimmys or bad men. So I don't know where she's going with this creepy thing. But that's your thing.
My issue is that when good men talk about bad men, they always ignore the line in the sand. The line in the sand that is inevitably drawn whenever a good man talks about bad men. I am a good man. Here is the line. There are all the bad men. The Jimmies and the good men won't talk about this line, but we really need to talk about this line. We need to talk about how men will draw a different line for every different occasion. They have a line for the locker room, a line for when their wives, mothers, daughters and sisters are watching, another line for when they're drunk and fratting, another line for non-disclosure, a line for friends and a line for foes. You know why we need to talk about this line between good men and bad men? Because it's only good men who get to draw that line. And guess what? All men believe they are good. Guess what happens when only good men get to draw that line? This world. A world full of good men who do very bad things and still believe in their heart of hearts that they are good men because they have not crossed the line. Because they moved the line for their own good. Women should be in control of that line, no question.
So women should define for men what is good and unacceptable behavior?
And black people should define what is racist or not. You see how that doesn't make no sense?
Should men define for women what is good female and bad female behavior? How does that work? Who keeps women in check? Or do women just have all the ability to decide what is morally right and wrong?
Okay.
And also, women aren't a monolith, right? They don't all agree and all share the same views. Most women don't even identify as feminists. So what is it that you expect them all to define?
It's only 30%, I think.
No, it's even less than that. It's like less than 20% in North America, and then in Europe it's less than 7% in the UK. It's crazy. So what are you expecting to happen if women get to define it? No, what you want is powerful elites that share your liberal viewpoint to determine for everybody else how they should and shouldn't act. That's what you're hoping for, because women aren't a monolith. Believe it or not, there's a lot of variance in what they think about all different issues. And respecting that, I'd appreciate if these conversations weren't relegated to White people should determine this for black people. Black people should determine this for black. We have to able to identify people's individuality in this conversation, and the fact that this is a very nuanced issue. I think for years and for such a long time, men have been dictating to women what is and isn't acceptable behavior. And we saw the toxicity of that. We told women what is a good or a bad girl. We told them what is acceptable with their sexual bodies and what isn't. And now we're trying to tell men what is and isn't acceptable behavior in their day-to-day lives. So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about that reversal of these kinds of things. Now, if men's were the only one involved in this conversation, I would understand your rhetoric, but they're not. This is a movement dominated by women, pushed by women, where men are having to pay the consequences for their action. So to make this sound like men are the only ones defining what is good or bad men is factually incorrect. We live in this day and age.
Now take everything I have said up until this point and replace man with white person.
Whoa, boy. Max, she went there. I don't agree. You're not helping.
These new age white liberals,
you're not helping.
Who think they're fighting for all minorities when they make rhetoric like this, is just like, you make me cringe on the inside. When I see a white guy go up for an acceptance speech and say, as a white male, I don't want to take up too much space because men are already taking too much space, so I'm going to just leave my speech for other people to talk. Thank you. And he walks off. Like, it makes me cringe on the inside because I don't believe your values. I don't believe in what you're trying to do.
You know what I think is funny? The whole speech she said, yeah, all these good men are saying this and are drawing the line. We can have these good men draw the line. We can't have that. Now replace good men by white. And she's white. Aren't you drawing the line? Aren't you a good white person right now? Drawing the line for black persons or for minorities? You're back in that fucking spot.
They want to turn the entire world into a college campus.
Yeah, and a college campus is the worst place in the world to have a conversation with something. Because everybody in those circles, the bigger circle you're part of, the more you're going to have to shut up. So white man, shut the fuck up, right? After that is people of color that are men, shut the fuck up. White women, shut the fuck up. White women that are LGBTQ, shut the fuck up. And it's people of color. And then you got the
disabled people, then you got the trans people, and at the end you're going to have a legless trans person who doesn't identify with the gender binary, who is Native American, and they're going to be the leader of the free world.
This is going to be the leader.
And know that if you are a white woman, you have no place drawing lines in the sand between good white people and bad white people.
What the fuck are you doing right now, my nigga?
As far as her ideas go, I disagree with a large majority of it. I think morality is such a difficult thing to navigate. How we define what's a good person or a bad person differs from person to person to person. Priest may be religious. The fact that I have, sex outside of wedlock makes me a terrible human being who deserves to go to hell. The next person who's Muslim sees me eat pork, says I'm going to hell, right? There's all kinds of different ways in which morality shifts. Those lines in the sand are constantly adjusting. So this idea that we can give all this power to one gender to make this decision for other people is going to make this very difficult, because not everyone who's a woman thinks alike, and therefore that line is going to be very hard for men to navigate, and we're going to still end up with the same problems. I think everybody has to be in charge of their own sense of morality. We need to have a society that has general moral conduct that we need, i.e. don't steal, don't kill, don't murder, don't rape. Those are very easy ones to kind of define. But after that, that is something that as a society and as a culture, we have to tackle on a day-to-day basis, and everyone has to be collectively involved. Because if we're not all sharing our input, there's a lot of nuance to the situation that may be missed from a male perspective or from a female perspective. And so we have to constantly be part of this discussion in order for it to go through. If I don't understand viscerally why I have to behave some way, then I can't make it part of my moral conduct because I don't believe in it.
And I'm going to repeat it.
Repeat those mistakes. So I disagree with Hannah Gadsby tremendously in this. I think Hollywood is getting cringier by the day. And I hope they realize soon that the world doesn't care about what they think politically. We won't vote along what you want. We don't give a fuck about what the elite think. You can suck our dick.
Or pussies.
Yeah, that too.
Or none.
Yeah, whatever. But they got buttholes. They can suck the butthole.
I prefer butthole.
Yeah, same here. So that's it for today's video. Tell us what you guys think. Are you guys a big fan or are you not? Do you agree? Do you disagree? We want to know why.